I am your host, Aisha isReal, the laid back down to earth life coach. Today's boss chick is Patrice Hunter. She is a cash flow strategist. She is here to help you repair your credit if necessary so that you can position yourself for opportunities to build generational wealth, which is so needed. So get your note-taking tools ready and let's get ready for the interview. Hey, but before we get to the interview, do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then click the notification bell so you'll know every time we post or go live. Thank you so much. Now to the interview. Hi, how are you, Patrice? Welcome.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I want to welcome you to Boss Chicks. And feel free to thank whoever referred you because I'm so excited for this interview. So, for all of you out there, this is Boss Chick Patrice Hunter, and I am going to allow her to tell you a little bit about herself and why she's on the show today.
Awesome. So first I want to shout out Angelicia Jones. That's my girl. She nominated me and wanted me to be a part of the show. She thought it would be a great opportunity. So I'm so honored and thankful for her as well as you for giving me this opportunity to talk a little bit about what I do and who I am. So for starters, I am a cash flow strategist. I empower people to take control of their finances and unlock their wealth potential. Right. So I am 100% entrepreneur.
Okay.
I work under a company called My Econ, which has been such a blessing to me ever since I started back in 2017. We help individuals with debt elimination, making sure that you don't overpay in your taxes, because overpaying in our taxes, which is a refund, that is basically giving the government a tax or interest-free loan, and you get that back in a refund check. But we show you how to use that money to invest and do things, with your finances throughout the year instead of just getting a refund check. We also help individuals with credit repair, which is huge,
Yes.
huge.
Especially in our community.
Absolutely. And we show people how to do it yourself. So it's a DIY program. We've seen people come in with credit scores in the 400s and 500s, and they have shot up to like 850, 800.
What?
Yes. Thousands of people. And
so I have a quick question. I'm sorry.
Sure.
What is the lowest possible credit score?
I think it's the 400s, I believe. Okay. Yes, 400s. Yes. So we've seen people with very low credit scores, and they come in and they do the letters themselves. They send them the right way. We teach you how to do it. You have access to us 24/7. We help you with it, but it is a DIY program, and we've seen so much success. We've seen people go from, like I said, the 400, 700 in a matter of 90 days.
Wow.
And I've seen it personally happen. And we also teach investment education. So if you're a beginner in investing, you don't know how to invest, we teach you how to do that as well. Like I stated, we help individuals get out of debt. So it's just all about creating personal financial success, wealth building, the importance of generational wealth and leverage income, passive income. So that's a little bit about what I do as far as a cash flow strategist.
So, question, how long have you been doing that, the cash flow strategy?
Since 2017.
2017.
Yes, okay. I was part-time at first. Little background, I used to be in corporate America. And, growing up, I thought that the only way you could be wealthy is going to school, get
Mm-hmm.
good grades, going to
Yes.
college, graduating, getting another degree,
Yeah.
doing those things in order to create wealth. And when I did those things and I graduated, I was sadly disappointed because number one, I graduated in the middle of the economic downturn in 2008, 2009. Nobody was hiring. So I literally had to start out at the bottom.
Wow.
Wasn't making the money that I thought I would be making.
Mm-hmm.
And after a while, I'm like, okay, I'm miserable what I'm doing. So I literally just was chasing the check at that point. I'm like, I want
Okay.
to make six figures. I want to be comfortable. Then when I got to that point, I was still miserable. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, this is not rewarding for me. I don't feel like I'm really um, giving value to the people, that I'm helping. And I won't say what occupation I was in, but it wasn't for me. I was miserable.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I kept getting laid off. So I had the type of job where if the housing market wasn't doing well, we would get laid off. So, and it's such a humbling
Um,
feeling to get laid off, especially if it's done multiple times. You feel like, you second guess your worth, like, man, am I gonna
yes.
find another job? Or, it's nothing like having somebody have your livelihood in their control, right? In their possession. One minute you're making six figures, the next minute, like, oh, he's not doing so well, so we're going to lay you off, and you're not making anything. So it's
Right.
a very humbling feeling, and I got tired of feeling that way. I got laid off about 3 to 4 times throughout my career, and I was like, I got to make a change. I got to do something else. And
Yeah.
thank God for my late mentor, Nicole Petaway. Actually wore her shirt that she gave me. I don't know if you.
Aw. Oh,
Um,
that's beautiful.
Yes, it says my sister girl. She gave this to me before she passed away, and on the back it says, "I got your back." And it's so
Oh.
weird because I didn't know what I was going to wear today, and I looked in my closet. I'm like, "This is Nicole," and I've never worn this shirt, and I'm like, "Oh,
Um,
this so Nicole could be with me." But
that is so sweet.
yes,
Very
I
nice.
love her. So she's the one who really helped me get into entrepreneurship and taught me
Okay.
the cash flow strategies and just really introduced me to my econ. I met her when I was just at a low point, like I'm tired of working. This is not my passion. What do I need to do? So I went to one of her events with with her business partner James, and they gave a great presentation on just the power of betting on yourself, being an
Mm,
entrepreneur, ownership, passive income,
yes.
leverage income. And it just made so much sense. And
Yeah.
when I started doing it, I felt like, wow, I can use my degrees doing this because I have a finance degree and an MBA, and it's all financial services. On top of the
Okay.
fact that I felt rewarded helping families get out of debt, helping
Hmm.
people go from the 400, 500 credit score to 700, and
Yes.
sharing those testimonies. That was rewarding for me. And I'm like, I
Hmm.
finally found what I'm supposed to be doing. So,
Yes.
um,
That's a
that's
wonderful feeling.
yes, it is. Yes, it is. So I thank God for her and just the company as a whole. So I just want to give them another shout out, my econ.
That's really nice. I'm still shocked. You said in 90 days they went from this low score to a good credit score. I don't
It's
think I've
all done
seen
legally.
that
It's
done
legit.
right in
You
such a
know.
short period of time.
hmm
So now, do you teach discipline, or are you expecting clients to just come in with some level of discipline, or do they just
We
hand it all over to you?
we do teach that, but you do have to have a level of accountability as well.
Okay,
And when you come in, we let you know, hey, this is what is expected. If you don't put in the work, you're not going to see results.
got it.
So the company works, the strategies work. And if you're not seeing things change in your life for the better, it's a you problem, not a us problem. Because we
Yeah,
know the strategies work. We know
yeah,
the business has,
it's proven
turned.
itself.
Right, right, right. It has, definitely helped so many families. So we know that we have the tools necessary to make individuals successful, but you have to come in knowing that, hey, I'm going to have to put in some work in order for me to see some success and to see some changes. So everything is a turnkey process. So you don't come in just not knowing what to do. We
Hmm.
give you, hey, here's the days of training. Here's Super Saturdays. here's your training manual, here's this and that. We show you the roadmap and the blueprint on how to make this situation a benefit for you and your family. So there's no real excuses other than you didn't put in the work. So we definitely give you those tools, but you have to come in knowing that you have to put in some work for sure.
Okay. So now I have a question, because the way that you're speaking, you're saying we and us,
Yes.
but you're 100% self-employed. So is it like a network marketing
Yes, it's
type of
network
business?
marketing.
Okay.
Yes. And at first, before I joined, I never really cared for network marketing opportunities. You hear about the pyramid schemes and things
Right.
like that, but you never knock something until you try it and you do your research. You never judge. So once I went to a meeting and I talked to, the experts and the individuals that were a part of the company, I'm like, oh, this is not a scheme. Everybody should be doing this. Like everybody should be utilizing these cash flow strategies and building a team and leveraging their income. There's only so much I can do by myself, but if I have a team and we're all helping each other, your amount of money that you're getting is going to be duplicated. It's going to be multiplied because you got so many people helping you. And then it's not just, I'm not just benefiting, but if they go out and build a team, guess what? They're going to do the same thing. So we show the power of having a team and having a network of people helping you and leveraging you to get the income that you need. And there's no ceiling of how much you can make. When you're at a job, and I just want to preface, I'm not trying to now people who have a 9-to-5, because a lot of people, they like their job and that's totally fine. But
and the world needs people with jobs.
Exactly. So I'm not, downing anybody who works a 9-to-5. That's perfectly fine. But for me, I just saw the value in having my own and betting on myself, having my own businesses. So yes, I am an independent associate under my econ, but we're still all entrepreneurs.
Yes. Okay. I like that. And so, I'm all about empowering others, and I know how it feels. Like you're saying, you got the joy from seeing people improve their lives and improve their situation. Now, do you only work with individuals and families, or do you work with business credit? Because you said you have degrees in finance and business. So
I'm going to tap into the business credit side. Right now, it's just individual credit. So I do want to get well versed in that and try to help with business credit. But right now, it's just the individual credit.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it's not broke, right? If that's working for you, I totally understand. Now, okay, so we talked a lot before this live interview, and so I know that that's not your only stream of income. You are experienced in multiple streams of income. So can you talk about some of the other things that you do?
Yes. So I am also a licensed health and life insurance agent, where I empower families and individuals to make informed decisions on their finances and protecting their families. So in a nutshell, I help with getting life insurance policies for people, and mainly term policies for different reasons, but term is the best way to go. That's a whole nother interview.
Oh, I was going to ask some questions. Okay.
You can. But the reason why I decided to go and do that, because I never thought I would be a life insurance agent, but someone that actually had joined my econ, he was a part of another company and he was helping, with life insurance policies, and he saw the need in it. And the way he put it to me, I'm like, this makes sense too. Because you see so many people, especially in our communities, having GoFundMe accounts. And when somebody passes away, unexpectedly, they're like, okay, we can't bury this person. We can't have a funeral, especially young. You don't think about that when you're young. You don't think about, what if I pass? What's going to happen? Who's going to take care? Who's going to take care of me? Right. And I feel like life insurance has nothing to do with you, but everything to do with your family and those you leave behind. Because if something were to happen to you, you leave behind that monetary burden. Like, you know what I mean? So if you don't have insurance, then how are you going to get buried?
Right.
What are you going to leave behind for your family? Not just for
Absolutely.
the funeral arrangements, but what legacy are you going to leave?
Right.
Are you going to leave some money for your children, or what's the case, right?
Right.
And I actually experienced that as well in my family, where people would die young and old and they wouldn't have life insurance policies. And it was such a stressful time because you're trying to gather all this money up in such a short period of time, because if somebody passes
Right.
away, you got to bury them within 1 to 2 weeks.
Right.
So not only are we grieving, because
Yeah.
we're dealing with the death, but also we have to come up with $5,000 to $10,000,
Yeah.
to bury this person.
Yeah.
So life insurance is so affordable, especially when you're young. So
Mm.
we pay $200 for a cell phone bill every month,
Yeah.
150, 200.
Cell phone,
You
internet.
can definitely afford a life insurance policy,
Mhm.
and you can customize it. It doesn't have to be huge. You can always increase it in, years to come, but definitely get something in place, because you just never know, especially like at this time. I know several people that I grew up with that just like passed recently. It's like maybe 3 to 4 people. It's so eerie.
Oh
I
wow.
went to school with, college, middle school, high school, just passed away with, like, every week it was a new person. And they were all around my age.
So yeah.
And you just never know.
Yeah.
You could wake up one day and go on about your day and not wake up the next day. Something happens to you and you're gone.
Yeah.
So we have to be prepared for the inevitable. And, you have to prioritize that. Make you a will. All the things that you have right now, do you know where that's going to go? Do you want it to just go to anybody? You have to really prepare for these things. And I just want to advocate that. And that's why I decided to be an insurance agent.
Now, do you, because I'm listening and you are, have things that are similar and quite possibly overlap, do
Mm-hmm.
you
That's a good point.
help people? Do you help people write wills? Because I know, like my mom is alive, but she has something called a living will.
Yes, yes. So we do that actually both with my econ and with the other company that I am a part of. So I
Okay.
haven't personally done that yet, but we do have those services, and we
Okay.
can point you in that direction for sure.
Okay.
I've done my own, but I haven't done other people's yet.
Got
So
it.
definitely do that as soon as possible, please.
Okay. So you're a resource as well. So if
Yes.
there's a service that you don't specifically do, you
Mm-hmm.
have a way to resource or source that out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And what else do you have on your plate, Miss Young Beautiful Entrepreneur?
Oh, thank you. I'm also a podcaster.
Okay.
So I have my own podcast with my cousin, Anaya Donner. I think she may be listening right now, but love her
Okay.
to death. We're more like sisters than cousins. But
Okay.
we embarked on this journey about 6 or 7 months ago.
Mhm.
And we are very close to our grandmother. Our
Mhm.
grandmother name is Audrey England.
Okay.
And she has dementia.
Mm.
And in the past, before she got this horrific disease, she was so bubbly,
Mhm.
lively, very talkative. And it was
Yeah.
always this running joke in the family. Like, if you see Audrey, just know you're going to be talking to her for like an hour. So I hope you don't have nothing planned because you will talk your ear off.
That's
So
funny.
she was the historian of our family. She
Okay.
knows like where we come from. She can date,
Mm.
our ancestors back to the 1800s, 1900s. She can tell
Oh
you who
wow.
did what and who had this company. She knows our ethnicity, where we,
Okay.
what
Yeah.
island we came from. She knows all this stuff.
Wow.
And she was so inspiring. She went back to school in her 50s and got her degree in Africology. She
Mm.
was just a walking encyclopedia. She always had the best stories, very brilliant,
Okay.
and also extremely giving. I don't know anybody else as giving as she was. She would
Okay.
literally, if anybody was sick, whether it was a cousin, an aunt, a brother, she
Mhm.
would go on a train, plane, any way she could. Mind you, she didn't drive.
Okay.
She would do her best to go to that person and come to their aid, whether you needed money, anything. She was
Wow.
always
Okay.
there for everybody. She had this
Nice.
small little apartment downtown Milwaukee, and literally she would have all these kids over, her great nieces and nephews, her grandkids who would pile up in her little apartment. She would she would take us to the lake, play tennis. She was just amazing, right? So
Nice. Yeah.
now she went from that to being in the bed. She can't
Hmm.
talk, can't walk, can't communicate.
Oh, she can't talk.
No, she has full on Alzheimer's now.
Oh, wow. I'm
And
sorry.
she has to be fed through a feeding tube. So her
Mm-hmm.
life has changed drastically. And to see her go from that to where she is now is devastating. So we was like, you
Hmm.
know what? Let's do something in honor of her. Let's keep
Mm.
her legacy going, especially while she's living. Let's give her
Yeah.
flowers now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we decided to come up with the podcast because we're like, Grandma used to love to talk, love
Yeah.
to tell stories. She was such a, advocate for so many things. And
Yeah.
it was like, let's do a podcast and let's talk about, a lot of the things that's going on now. We wanted to make it to where it wasn't surface level. Like it's not all about gossip and what, the celebrities are doing. These are deep
Yeah.
topics, deep conversations that we want to talk about. We're crying on these episodes. We're vulnerable. We're
Okay.
relatable. We're letting it all out, right?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
so that's why we decided to do it because and it's called Audrey's Girls.
All these girls. And where
Yeah,
can people, is it on
it's on
Spotify or?
all the platforms:
Okay.
Spotify, Apple, um, Amazon Music, I believe.
Hmm.
So yeah, we're on all platforms. All you got to do is type in Audrey's Girls, and girls is spelled with a U. So yes,
Oh, okay.
yes, we
And
have.
when does it come on?
We usually put it out on Tuesdays and Saturdays,
Okay.
so keep a lookout for that. Yeah.
Okay.
And we hope
Nice.
to build it to where it's a movement.
Yeah.
We want not just a podcast in her name, but we want to do public speaking. We want to do conferences, galas, scholarships
Yeah.
in her name, things like that. So yeah, we hope that it explodes and it becomes something really big. So
Okay, I like that.
mhm.
We'll talk offline because I have
Yes.
some business conversation I want to have with you
Okay.
regarding that. But I'll have to
Okay.
make sure that I catch that. And so
Awesome.
Audrey is Audrey.
Yes.
Okay,
Hmm.
the Audrey's Girls
Yes.
and girls with a U.
Yes. And that's a play on words too, because she would purposely spell things wrong and we used to laugh at her or whatever. So it
Okay.
was like, we're going to spell it with a U.
Okay, I like that. So you're definitely just paying homage to your grandmother. I think that's wonderful.
Yes.
I think it's a
Yes.
blessing to have had her or to have gotten to know her before the dementia set in. So you have
Yes. Just
also a
an
wealth of
amazing
knowledge.
woman.
Yeah. I have an uncle who is like the historian of our family. He has like
Really.
encyclopedia sized books
Wow.
in
We
his
have so
home.
much in common.
Yeah, yeah, we
We
do.
do.
Yes, and that's why we need to talk offline because
Yes, we do.
I'm
We're going to become
so
besties. Watch.
right, and because I'm all about collaboration. Like I just
Me
have a lot
too.
of business ideas, but I know that I'm only one person, and so
Hmm.
when I hear something that's even just similar to something that I may have started or I may have thought about, I'm like, oh, I need to talk to that person because
Yes,
either you can help me develop or I can help you develop something. You know what I mean? And
absolutely.
so,
I'm all about expanding my network and,
yes.
bringing like-minded individuals into my circle. And I want to see us all win. So, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes, we have the
Mhm.
same mindset. I
Awesome.
love it. Okay, well, is there anything that I didn't ask that you would like to add?
I would say advice to to women who are trying to get in entrepreneurship but are
Mhm.
nervous and not, understanding, okay, which way should I go, right? So I would say number one, mentorship. Find you
Okay.
someone that is in the industry of what you want to do and make sure that they're successful at it
Yes.
and they're doing really well at it and they're willing to pour into you because you can find some mentors. I remember I used to chase people down and they just was too busy, right?
Yeah.
So it has to be organic. You can't force it, but just find somebody that is in your industries that can talk to you on a weekly basis and pour into you and give you those gems, give you those tools necessary to make it to where they are, right? So my mentors, I have a mentor that's a millionaire, and he's in my econ, and he's showing me John Pettifer L. Hey John, if you're watching, he is he makes sure he reaches out to me every week, and talks about, hey, this is what you need to do. These are our goals. Make sure we reach them. Like, he gives me the names of books that I need to read, and just, hey, you need to be on this training. He's there. He's accessible. I have another mentor, Michael Brown. He helps me with the insurance side. So, and with the podcast, we're kind of just winging it.
Okay.
But my cousin Anaya, she is so awesome. Like, she's so good with content and all that. She's a real life influencer. So it wasn't really hard for her to understand all the technical, things that go into the podcast. But number one, definitely find you a mentor. Number two, you have to have the confidence and the conviction. You have to be the product of the product. So you have a passion for makeup and you want to sell makeup, or you want to be a makeup artist. You have to see, like, okay, if I'm selling this makeup, is it of quality? If this was at Target or wherever, would I buy this?
Right.
You have to be honest with yourself. And for me, like with the financial services, I had to use these things in order to have the confidence to sell it. Because if I haven't used it and I don't have that confidence, I can't expect somebody to buy into what I'm selling. So yes, I've used the credit repair and my credit score has shot up. Yes, I've used the debt elimination and I have cash flowed over $100,000. Yes, I, have a term policy, and I went from whole life to term. I'm actually a customer of my own products and my own business, because I need to have that conviction and that confidence to be able to sell it to individuals. So definitely have that confidence and conviction, and make sure you are honest with yourself, with your products. Is it quality? What can you do better? And lastly, and this is something that I still struggle with, is consistency and discipline. Because being an entrepreneur is very hard. You're going to get rejection. You're going to get a bunch of no's. You're going to get people who don't support you. To this day, I'm not trying to be negative, but to this day on social media, sometimes I don't get a lot of likes. I don't get a lot of comments under my post. I'm talking about business. And sometimes it makes you want to be like, man, I'm done. I'm quitting because nobody's supporting me, But you have to keep going, because one day your video will go viral. One day somebody's going to believe in you and share your post, and you start to get recognized. So you just got to keep going. And one thing that happened to me recently, I was on TikTok, and sometimes I'll get 300 views, 1,000 views maybe, but one of my videos reached 275,000 views. It went viral. I was like, what? Look at God.
Okay.
So that was just a testament that God is in control. God is in control. Do not have faith in man. Don't worry about, hey, I'm not getting a lot of likes. I'm not getting a lot of support. If you stay consistent, you stay disciplined, you have faith in God, you pray, and you have that confidence, you will get to where you need to be. You will be successful. And I'm preaching to myself as well.
Look, boss chicks have to have coaches. Boss chicks have to have daily affirmations. So absolutely, I understand everything. Everything you're saying, and I agree with it wholeheartedly. So I mean, I have enjoyed this wonderful interview, and like I said, we're going to talk after, because I have some other things that don't necessarily need to be in the interview. Because it's part of building. But those of you out there know that you should collaborate, you should build, be encouraging, be an inspiration, and just make sure that you share information. That's kind of my mantra. Like, I just don't think that there's a need to be stingy with information. I think that just be helpful and all of that. But so my last question that I ask all my boss chicks is, in your own words, what makes you a boss chick?
What makes me a boss chick? The fact that I am willing to take a risk and bet on myself. I'm willing to believe in myself, knowing that I'm going to win.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to share my knowledge. Like
Yeah.
you said, don't be stingy. If you know that you got the tools necessary to make somebody else win, and that's when I have the most gratitude. It's not always about the money. It's about, man, I changed somebody's life today.
Yes.
Man, they had an aha moment, right? Because of me and because of the businesses that I'm a part of. That makes me happy. So that makes me a boss chick. The fact that I'm betting on myself, I believe in myself, and I'm helping others to get to where I am, if not even better. Even if you supersede me, that's fine. You know, I'm still grateful that I'm able to help others. So that's what makes me a boss chick.
Awesome. That is definitely boss, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Did you have any questions for me? Because we're getting ready to close out. I think this has been an amazing interview, and I think there's a wealth of knowledge here that everybody who listens can walk away with. And I think you've given them enough to be encouraged and inspired and to reach out to you. So I will ask you to share, how can people get in touch with you? I know you said as far as your podcast, you're on all platforms and it's called Audrey's Girls. But what about your other businesses? How can people get in touch with you? Because I'm sure they want to know how to raise their credit and build their wealth.
Absolutely. So Facebook, you can just type in Patrice Hunter, and I have a link tree. It's really called My Share, but it's the same thing as Linktree, and it has all of my different businesses on there. And you know, if it's credit repair, if it's my econ, if it's life insurance, if you click on the button, you'll be able to see the videos and kind of give you a synopsis of what I do. And then I do free consultations as well for life insurance. So just look me up, Patrice Hunter, on Facebook. On TikTok and Instagram is Mrs. Hunter _826. Okay. So you can find me there as well. And that's it. So definitely follow me and reach out to me. I'm very accessible. So yeah, looking forward to new clients and new opportunities.
Yes, and I'm sure they're coming. And I forgot to mention, I love your background.
I love yours too, girl. We are so much alike.
I know, right? Awesome. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for watching Boss Chicks today. And don't forget to reach out to Patrice Hunter so you can get some help with your cash flow. That is so important. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Don't go anywhere, okay?
I won't.
Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Boss Chicks. Remember to tune in on Monday evenings at 7:30 p.m. where the Girl Talk panel discusses relationship questions. Also, I have a book on Amazon called End of Silent Suffering, where I teach you how to survive a relationship with a narcissist. I also have a love course, an online course that you can take at any time. Hey, I love having you here, so I'll see you next week on Boss Chicks.